All right, so today we have Erin, one of our expert student loan advisors at Silver Lion. We would like to put some minds at ease and to also clarify some of the repeat questions we are asked and then constantly seeing in the student loan forgiveness program. Someone who also is saying they are confused as they are now, or I'm sorry, they are confused about the loan forgiveness. So they went to Phoenix University and their loans were under Navient and now Advantage. So their loans are under forbearance accruing interest due to the Sweet versus Cardona trial. And she said, as I do more research, I saw the below item. So this item was on the federal aid site. It said at least one of your loans is not a direct loan. If you are interested in PSLF and or certain income-driven repayment options, consider consolidating your loans. However, please note you also have Perkins loans and you will lose any special Perkins loan cancellation benefits if you include your Perkins loans in your consolidation. Does anyone have any guidance on what I should do?
So it sounds like that you have FIFA loans. If they were with Navient, they're probably FIFA loans or the Federal Family Education Loan Program. If what you were applying for is a discharge, a closed school discharge, FIFA loans don't qualify for a closed school discharge. It's likely that discharge will just sit there for years and years and years. They won't look at it once they see that it's FIFA loans. I would actually have my loans reviewed to see if you actually do qualify for a closed school discharge. It doesn't sound like that you do, but without reviewing your loans, I wouldn't want to speak with any specificity. The lawsuit may be a bit different, it may work a bit differently, but traditionally FIFA loans don't qualify for those programs.
Okay, this woman is a teacher and she submitted her PSLF forms in July. They say that they are still under review. I believe I'm over the 120 months and should be forgiven. Do you have any idea how much longer I will need to wait to see whether or not it has been forgiven?
Relatively speaking, since July isn't that much time. However, 98% of people that actually qualify for public service loan forgiveness, they never get it. Usually it's because while you as the borrower qualify for the program, your loans do not. They may not be in the right plan or program in order to qualify for student loan forgiveness. They'll never tell you that. Your application will just sit there. They'll never do anything with it. Have your loans reviewed. Will tell you if your loans qualify for public service loan forgiveness. But just since July, relatively speaking, for public service loan forgiveness, that isn't a lot of time. The federal government doesn't really know how to count qualified time. We find that most of our time is spent going through month by month, year by year, counting qualified time for public service loan forgiveness.
All right, thank you. So this person says, I am starting to regret taking the step to get my loans out of default through the fresh start since it seems like everything is such a mess. I wanted to be eligible for IDR, possible forgiveness or relief, and would not be eligible if my loan was in default. Everyone's stories have me wondering if I should have left my loans alone for now and waited until after the elections to see how things would shake out. So currently this person, by seeing some of the comments, she's waiting to hear back. Is it likely she will able to get into an income-driven repayment plan?
So whomever told you should have waited to after the election, it doesn't sound like they know what they're talking about. You absolutely did the best thing for your loans. If you used the Fresh Start program, now there is a possibility you didn't set up Fresh Start correctly. Fresh Start has the ability to automatically enroll your loans into an income-driven repayment plan. And it only takes a billing cycle or about 30 days, about a month for the Fresh Start program. If it's been longer than that, it's likely you didn't set the program up correctly or you didn't have them automatically enroll your loans into an income-driven repayment plan. However, if you did it after July 18th, then there's a possibility the lawsuit against the SAVE plan is what's actually preventing your loans from going into an income-driven repayment plan. If they're out of default, that's a good thing. They're going to be reporting to credit again, but they already are beginning this month. You also, they would have taken your income tax return. You've lost your federal privileges while they're in default, and you have the possibility of being garnished. You absolutely did the right thing. Now, It's depending on when you did it. If it's after July 18th, there is the possibility or even probability at this point that your loans aren't in an income-driven repayment plan. That's only because of the lawsuit against, say, the SAVE plan. It's indirectly affecting the other income-driven repayment plans. If that is the case, call your servicer or request an administrative forbearance until they place you in your income-driven repayment plan. But you absolutely did the right thing using a Fresh Start program.
Another question we have is, if we consolidated solely based on the fact we were told our payment count would be set back to 0, and now we aren't allowed to be in the SAVE program, does that just mean we will start over? Will it be 18 years of payments down the drain? So this person was wondering if they will have to take their loans out of consolidation.
There's no such thing as taking your loans out of consolidation. Once they're consolidated, the loans you previously had, they no longer exist. What consolidation is the Department of Education paying off each individual loan and opening you a new consolidated loan for the same amount. Depending on when you did it, if you did it before June 30th of this year, when an account adjustment was taking place, you didn't lose anything as long as you were placed in an income-driven repayment plan. I actually would be interested in reviewing these loans. This person definitely should have a loan review. So it used to be when you consolidated your loans, you lost your qualified time. Now, if you consolidate direct loans, they'll take an average of the qualified time you should have had. If you had FIFO loans, however, and you did it outside of the account adjustment period, which ended June 30th, then you did lose the last 18 years and you're beginning from day one. But it depends on what you did and when you did it to determine whether or not you lost those 18 years in repayment. I would be interested in reviewing these loans. It's a possibility you didn't lose anything or you could have lost everything, but this isn't enough information for me to accurately tell you what to expect.
All right, so also today, and you and I were speaking about this morning, an article came out about Navient. How will that affect the borrowers if they do use Navient as their servicer?
It won't affect them at all. The Department of Education will just move your loans to a different federal servicer. So this isn't new. Most borrowers may be finding out because it is directly affecting them. But Navient lost their federal contract maybe even 2 years ago. They were only able to hold the loans that they already had, which were FIFO loans, the Federal Family Education Loan Program. Since then, they're not able to hold any federal loans, and they had to pay a $120 million fine because of what they were doing with people's loans. Your loans would just move from Navient to another federal servicer. The ones I've seen the most have been Mohila and Advantage, but it may go to another federal servicer. Check the Department of Education's website and see where your loans move to.
All right, and last but not least, we have talked about recertification. The protocols have changed for recertification. So Aaron, I'm going to let you kind of explain what the recertification process is and how it is standing as of today.
So qualified plans for any forgiveness program, income-driven repayment plans, they're technically for 12 months at a time. They have to be recertified annually. If you don't recertify your plan, you're not technically in an income-driven repayment plan, which means you're not technically making qualified payments, which means you're not moving forward towards forgiveness. So it used to be you had to wait till about 10 days before your recertification date before you were able to recertify. Now you're able to do it about 35 days before. 10 days before your recertification date, they kick you off your plan. It reverts to a standard repayment plan. Most people, because of the lawsuit against the SAVE plan, recertification date first moved to March of 2024, then November of 2024. I've seen some in November and December of 2024, but I've also seen some that were supposed to be before November that have moved to next year, 2025. So check your recertification date. You do not want to miss recertification. 90% of people that mess up qualified plans is because they never recertify that plan. The servicers never tell people that these plans even have to be recertified. They're technically only for 12 months at a time, and then they expire. Your recertification date should be the date you were enrolled into the plan. Every year is when it has to be recertified by. Check your recertification date to make sure you don't miss it.
Thank you so much, Erin, for taking the time as always. We highly recommend getting your loans reviewed by one of our student loan advisors. We can answer any questions, and your first loan review is free. So if you have any kinds of questions, now is the time to take advantage. Also, if you would like to learn more, we are hosting a live student loan webinar next Tuesday, October 15th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have the details listed out below, and everyone have a wonderful rest of their day. Thank you.